So today we are going to learn how to make this cute little octopus. This is a very easy to make octopus which will work up in about less than 1 hour. This is no sew. If you are too lazy to sew just like me, this is the perfect pattern for you. If you want a written pattern, it will be also up in my Etsy shop. To make the octopi, I am using plush yarn and a 4.5mm hook, stitch markers, scissors, polyfil as stuffing, and 10mm ice. You can use safety ice and glue. To start making the octopus, we are going to form an X on top of the index and middle finger just like this, and with the help of the ring finger we're gonna hold the yarn in place. Next you're gonna grab the hook, send it under and over like this, pull out the yarn, twist it, and you're gonna make a chain right there like that. Now this is the loop or the circle that we are going to work into, so you're gonna send your hook into that ring like this and place one single crochet. You are gonna repeat this for a total of 8 times. If making the magic ring like this is hard for you, you can make 2 chains and make 8 single crochets into the first chain. You can pull from the tail to get the ring closed and finish placing the single crochets. So by the end of this first round, you should be having a total of 8 stitches. And this is how your work should look like by the end of row 1. So this is the first stitch. You can see the V-like shape, that is a stitch. This is the third one, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Now let's start working our row number 2 or round 2. For this, into each stitch you're gonna place 2 single crochets. So as soon as you make your first single crochet, don't forget to mark it with a stitch marker. Into the same stitch, you're gonna place another single crochet. Into the next, 2 single crochets. Into the next, 2 single crochets. Likewise, you're going to continue until you reach the end of this round, and making 2 single crochets in one stitch is known as an increase. In a pattern you would see INC, that means increase, into the number of increases that you have to do. So in this case, for the octopi, INC into 8. By the end of this row, you'll be having 16 stitches as the total stitch count. Okay, we have completed row 2. Let's move on to row number 3. For this, into the first stitch, you're gonna place 1 single crochet. Don't forget to mark it with your stitch marker. Into the next, you're gonna make an increase. That means you're gonna make 2 single crochets into the second stitch. Into the next, you're gonna place 1 single crochet, into the next, and increase. So you're gonna alternate between this pattern, single crochet increase, until you reach the end of the row, and by the end of this row you'll be having a total stitch count of 24. I'll see you guys at the end of the row. Okay, I'm at the end of that row. To start row number 4, we are going to first remove the stitch marker and place 1 single crochet into the first stitch. Don't forget to mark it with your stitch marker. Into the second stitch, you're gonna do an increase. So doing an increase means making 2 single crochets into one stitch. And into the third stitch, you're gonna place a single crochet. Okay, now we are going to repeat the pattern. Into the next, a single crochet, into the next, an increase, into the next, a single crochet. So the pattern is single crochet, increase, single crochet 8 times. By the end of this row, you'll be having a total stitch count of 32. I'll meet you guys by the end of this row. Okay, I finished that row. For the next row, we're gonna make 1 single crochet into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into the next, and mark your first stitch with the stitch marker. So since I did 2 single crochets, my stitch marker should be here. And into the next, again a single crochet, and into the next you're gonna do an increase. So the pattern is 3 single crochet, increase. You have to repeat this pattern for 8 times, and by the end of the row you'll be having a total stitch count of 40 stitches. So don't forget 3 single crochets and then increase. I'll meet you guys at the end of this row. Okay, we have completed a total of 5 rounds of 5 rows. So this is how your work should look like. For the next couple of rows, like 8 rows to be exact, we are just going to keep on making single crochets around. So at the end of each row, you'll be having 40 stitches. Since we are not doing any change, just making single crochets around. So let me show you my next round, round 6. So you can see I am just placing 1 single crochet into each of those stitches. And this is the end of my round 6. From round 6 to 13, we are just going to place single crochets like this. At the end, this is how your work should look like. You can count to make sure that you have 13 rows. To quickly summarize, we did increases up to 5 rows. We just make single crochets around for 8 rows. If you are using safety eyes, include it around row 12, about 6 to 7 stitches apart. And now we are at row number 14. We are gonna make 1 single crochet into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into the next stitch, 1 single crochet into the next, and you're gonna go through the front loops of the next 2 stitches like this. Pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through. What we did here was we did a decrease. Let me show it to you again. Make 3 single crochets, and into the front loops of the next 2 stitches you're gonna send your hook through. Pull up a loop, you got 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2. So you're gonna single crochet 2 stitches together. That means you're doing a decrease. So the pattern is 3 single crochet, decrease 8 times until you reach the end of the row, and you'll be having a total stitch count of 32. I'll meet you guys at the end of this row. Okay, I'm at the end of row 14 and we'll be having a total stitch count of 32. Now you can see like a little bucket shape is forming. For the next round, we are going to make 1 single crochet into the first stitch and mark it with the stitch marker. Then you're gonna do a decrease, go through the front loops of the second and third stitches, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through, and into the next a single crochet. So the pattern is single crochet, decrease, single crochet. You're gonna repeat this until you reach the end of the row. By the end, you should be left with 24 stitches. Don't forget the pattern. We are doing decreases now. Single crochet, decrease, single crochet until you reach the end. I'll meet you guys by the end of this round. Okay, I am at the end. Now it's a good time to start making the legs of the octopus. So for that, we'll be using a stitch called the bobble stitch. Before that, count and make sure that you have 24 stitches at the end of this row, because I'm gonna make 8 legs for the octopus and I need 3 stitches for each leg, so you'll understand what I'm telling. To start this round, I'm gonna make 1 single crochet into the first stitch and don't forget to mark it. Into the next, I'm gonna do a double crochet bubble, so you're gonna yarn over twice like this. Next, you're gonna insert your hook into that second stitch and pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops again. You got 2 loops on your hook and you're gonna yarn over twice again. And into the same stitch, you're gonna insert and pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. You're gonna yarn over twice again and do the same thing. Pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. You have 4 loops on your hook. You're gonna do it one more time. Yarn over twice, insert, pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Once you have 5 loops on your hook, you're gonna finish off the bubble by yarn over and pull through all 5 loops like this. And into the next, the third stitch, you're gonna place a single crochet. That is our first leg of the octopus. Okay, into the fourth stitch, you're gonna place a single crochet. And into the next, you're gonna do a bobble stitch. So yarn over twice, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and you're gonna repeat this until you have 5 loops on your hook. So as you can see, I have 4 loops on my hook. Now I have 5 loops on my hook, so I'm gonna finish the bubble. For that, I'm gonna yarn over and pull through the 5 loops like this. Into the next stitch, I'm gonna place a single crochet. So you're gonna repeat the pattern single crochet, bobble, single crochet until you reach the end. By the end, since we didn't do any change to the stitch count, because we didn't do any increases or decreases, our total stitch count will remain the same, which is 24 stitches, but you should be having 8 bubbles or 8 legs for the octopus. I'll meet you guys by the end of this row. Okay, I just finished making the legs and now it's time to stuff the octopus. So for this I'm using Polyfil. If you don't have Polyfil, you can use scrap yarn or cotton. Personally, I prefer Polyfil. Earlier I used to use cotton, but Polyfil is more squishy. So you're gonna fill in the octopus until you're happy with the shape. For me, I want it to be very round, so I filled it with lots of Polyfil. Once you're happy with the Polyfil, you're gonna start working the next round. Okay, now we are almost at the end of our project. So for this round, you're gonna make 1 single crochet into the first stitch and then don't forget to mark it. Next, into the next 2 stitches, you're gonna go through the front loops and do a decrease. So it can be a bit tricky to find the front loops, but you can see it clearly here. You're doing a decrease, so into the next again a single crochet, and then into the next 2 stitches a decrease. So the pattern you're going to repeat is single crochet decrease 8 times. By the end of this row you'll be left with a total stitch count of 16 stitches. You have to be very careful and look carefully when you are looking for the stitches, because some stitches may be like this. You wouldn't be able to see it because of the bubbles, so you have to turn your project to your side like me, like how I'm holding here. Otherwise you won't be able to see the front loops of the stitches. So repeat the pattern single crochet decrease, and I'll meet you guys at the end of this row. I just finished the row. If you still feel like you need to stuff in more polyfil, you should go ahead and stuff it in. Now for the final row that I'm gonna crochet, we are going to just keep on decreasing. Go through the front loops of the first 2 stitches, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So that is my first decrease. Likewise, you're gonna keep on single crocheting 2 stitches together. That means you're gonna decrease, go through the front loops like this. You're gonna repeat this for 8 times, and by the end of this row you should be left with just 8 stitches. Okay, that is our final round, and we are gonna stop here. We are going to leave enough yarn tail to sew this hole close. So pull the yarn strand out like this and cut it off. With the help of a darning needle, you are going to sew this opening close. So for that, you're gonna go through the front loops of those final 8 stitches like this. Okay, now I'm gonna pull it like this, and that opening should close off. That's it. And now I'm gonna hide the tail, make a few knots, and make sure that it doesn't get undone. Okay, so the extra yarn tail, you can cut it off, or here I'm using a smaller hook and hiding it inside the project. And all we have to do is just fix the eyes of the octopus, but if you have used safety eyes, you should be having a completed octopus by now. But since I'm gonna glue the eyes on, I have to count about 3 to 4 stitches from the legs upwards like this, and between the two eyes I have about 6 to 7 stitches between two eyes. You can change the placements as you prefer. Yay! So we have ourselves a not so quick and easy little octopus. You can make it in different colors, and if you know how to do color changes, you can make it in 2-3 colors too. So I hope you guys enjoy the tutorial. I will have a written pattern up on my Etsy as well as my coffee shop. So if you have any questions, comment down below. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.